The next president must set a high bar on the use of force, and an exceedingly high bar on doing so unilaterally. We must put an end to endless war and refocus on future threats. After 9/11, Congress passed and President George W. Bush signed into law an authorization for the use of military force to eliminate the threat posed by al-Qaeda and to attack the Taliban in Afghanistan. The time has come for Congress to repeal and replace that blank check on the use of force and ensure a robust debate on future operations. I will rejoin our international partners and recommit the United States to the Iran nuclear deal. This agreement was concluded not to do Iran a favor, but because it is in our national security interest. For decades, the United States and our allies have successfully deterred North Korean use of nuclear weapons. So rather than a zero-sum insistence on full and complete denuclearization before any peace is possible, we can recognize that these two processes can be mutually reinforcing, with small steps leading to bigger ones. You will not see me exchanging love letters on White House letterhead with a brutal dictator who starves and murders his own people. You will see my administration work to create the conditions that would make it possible to welcome North Korea into the international community. But until we can change the present dynamic, until there are good faith and verifiable reversals in North Korea's nuclear program, sanctions must remain in place. The United States can't fix every fragile state where extremism might flourish, but with proper legal authorities, we should maintain limited, focused, and specialized counterterrorism and intelligence missions in places like Afghanistan to reduce the likelihood that such places will become launching pads for attacks on the United States or our allies. In the past decade, more Americans have been killed in America by right-wing extremists than by those inspired by al-Qaeda or ISIS. We need to acknowledge this threat, too, and redirect appropriate resources to combat right-wing extremism and violent white nationalism. Meanwhile, Russia throws its weight around abroad, most egregiously, of course, their unacceptable interference in our elections, which weakened America, both by helping to elect an unstable administration and by eroding confidence in our democracy itself. We must be ready to deter such behavior in the future through diplomatic, economic, and even cyber tools and information operations. Future policy toward Russia must include a regional security framework that promotes stability for Eastern Europe and incentivizes Russia to adhere to international norms. And central to this will be our partnerships, sadly fractured and endangered by this administration, but ready to be renewed and reinvigorated. 70 years after the founding of NATO, we must repair the strained relationships with our European allies, not because we owe them or they owe us, but because America is more effective when we work with strong and able partners and when those partners can trust America's word. Casual references to throwing U.S. troops at situations like the crisis in Venezuela will not help. But engagement will. That means adding, not subtracting, to USAID efforts in Central America, and it means working closely with Mexico, one of our largest trading partners, knowing how much we have to gain when Mexico is more prosperous and stable. Just as an American patriot may oppose the policies of the American president, a supporter of Israel may also oppose the policies of the Israeli right-wing government. A two-state solution that achieves legitimate Palestinian aspirations and meets Israel's security needs remains the only viable way forward, and it will be our policy to support such a solution actively. And if Prime Minister Netanyahu makes good on his threat to annex West Bank settlements, he should know that a President Buttigieg would take steps to ensure that American taxpayers won't help foot the bill. Climate disruption is here. It is no longer a distant or theoretical issue. It is a clear and present threat. In other venues, I've had more to say about how America can rise to this national challenge. It's an approach that should include a carbon tax and dividend to reorient our economy around a more sensible reward system. It includes quadrupling American R&D to at least $25 billion a year. Rejoining Paris is just the beginning. I believe that the U.S. should foster not only international, but subnational engagement to meet a challenge whose solutions could be as unifying as its threats are universal. We would do well to host a Pittsburgh summit of cities to form commitments that will stand alongside the Paris framework among countries. The world needs America to be the best it's ever been. And now it falls to us to set the bearing of our nation. Let us choose well. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.